Once again ask you, how did it all start? When were you posted there? And when did you start investigating what was happening inside the prison?
I was posted in January. I was on sanctioned leave, and after my sanctioned leave got over, I joined on 23rd of June. And in between there were some holidays. On 28th of June, I visited the prison for the first time, central prison for the first time as a supervisory officer. And I noted several things. And then generally, you know, when an officer joins a new post, there would be a lot of people coming and informing about irregularities happening, especially if they have faith in you. So similarly, a few people came and met me. They said a lot of things about what is going on, not just about Shashikala, about many things happening there. And as it is, yes, they showed me certain photos and videos of differential treatment being given to Shashikala. And as it is in the media also, there was now and then a lot of news about differential treatment being given. And one incident that triggered it was on 29th, there was an assault on the chief medical officer working in the prison by a convict. And when I asked for a report, there was no report forthcoming on that incident from below. And that is the time when I decided to give it 7 working days, and after that on 10th of July I visited the prison and noted down several things, and I put that in writing.
Was it a surprise? Was it a surprise visit?
Now that was an internal report. Hello?
I said, was it a surprise visit? When you said you went in, was it a surprise visit? You just went in because you'd been hearing these stories about what was going on in the prison. Was it a surprise visit by you?
Yes, when I went in, there were a lot of things that almost corroborated what I had heard, because as an outsider I had heard a lot of things being done in jail, the irregularities happening there, and they were found to be true. And there were many of them, like one was, yes, differential treatment being given to Shashikala, and one was the ganja being supplied, because on 10th the tests were done using drug test kit for the first time. Out of there were some 25 people tested, and out of which 18 people tested positive for ganja, which means a huge percentage, which was about 70%. And no action was taken when the chief medical officer was assaulted. No action was taken on why the guards were absent there near the hospital, because if the guards were there, this incident also could have been averted. And all these incidents I noted and put it in writing. For me, it was not just Shashikala incident that was important. It was a whole lot of other things, indiscipline and irregularities happening, that was important, which I have put in a detailed report, both in my first as well as second report. Media picked it up, only one issue, that is a different thing, but there were and I have put it in writing with evidence.
Can you tell me, about the differential treatment to Shashikala? What exactly was the differential treatment to Shashikala? What was she getting? What were the facilities being provided to her? Can you tell us about it?
Look, Shashikala is not a class 1 or a class A prisoner. She is an ordinary prisoner, and now it is all over in the media and in the public domain, and there is no secret about it, or it's not a secret what I am talking. And the differential treatment was that whole corridor was left completely for her to be used as her private space. Now there is overcrowding in other barracks, in other cells. In small cells there are 4 or 5 people living in a cell, and in bigger barracks there are about 30, 40 people living in, even 50 in some of the barracks. So many people staying in a barrack. Now when there is overcrowding, on one hand, the whole corridor, which measures about 150 feet in distance, which has 5 cells, that was left to her, and she stays in the middle room. She has kept her personal bedding, personal clothing across other rooms among these 5 cells, and she also exercises in a separate room in one of these 5 cells. Her room has a cot and a bed and a TV, LED TV. Now, it is in writing that TV is given to her in the it is in writing, put in writing by the jail authorities. However, the justification for giving TV is that TV is there in all other barracks, but in all other barracks there are about 50-60 people, sometimes 40 to 60 people who have to watch one TV, and here it is one person, one TV. And the other barracks, there are old TVs, box type TVs, and most of them are not running because sometimes the channel bills are not paid, or remote is not working. Sometimes the TV itself is not working. Those things are not looked into. Whereas in this, for this lady, it's one brand new LED TV given. It's a small one though, but it's a new LED TV where she can watch all the channels. And that apart, she gets cooked food separately, whatever she wants. There is a common kitchen, but food is cooked separately for her. Whatever she wants, she gets cooked. It's not always lavish, but it's always whatever she wants, like even as simple as rice porridge or a soup and so on. That is again a differential treatment because this facility is not available to other prisoners. And then she meets the visitors in a separate room, which is on the first floor of the office building, where other offices are there, office of other jail officers. And this room has curtains, and it has a revolving chair, it has a table, it has some other chairs to sit, 3-4 other chairs. There is no other document kept in this room. Now, how is this to be corroborated is, now common visitors, I mean all the prisoners, they meet visitors in a common gallery, and there is always a mesh separating the visitors from the prisoners. And on the prisoners side there is camera number 7, and on the prisoner side there is camera 6, and visitor side there is camera 7. So, if you take account of who has visited Shashikala on various dates, that is always maintained in the register. So, if you take these details and take the video recordings of these cameras, you will not find her picture there or that of her visitors, because she does not meet them there, she meets them in this separate room. Of course, there is no CCTV put in the room where she meets them, but this can be corroborated by the fact that in the common visitors gallery, her picture is not to be found in any of the dates when she meets her visitors. This is again a differential treatment, and when asked why she meets them separately here, one answer that was given by the jail officers was for security reasons. Now, if that is a reason good enough, they should have put this in writing and informed to the court, saying that she has security reasons, security issues, and therefore these differential treatment will be given to her. But that was not put in writing, and it just continued without the notice of the court. And hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just want to ask, there is one piece of footage which we had of Shashikala, in which it was apparent to me that she was wearing some kind of a silk salwar kameez and fancy clothes, not prison clothes, and she was carrying a designer type of bag with her. And it also seemed to me, Roopa, when I was looking at that footage. Yes, you are saying something?
Even when I met her, she was wearing a cotton nightie, and so was Ilavarasi. Both were wearing cotton nighties. I think when they meet the visitors, that is the time when they go out in silk sari and chudidar, as I have also seen in the CCTV, in the TV videos that came. And she is supposed to wear jail clothes, plain white clothes, sari, because as per Karnataka prison rules, only under trials are allowed to wear their own clothing, and convicts, whatever be the imprisonment, simple or rigorous, they have to wear jail clothing. And she uses personal bedding, which is also again not allowed. She has to use the jail bedding, but that is not done. So, these are the way ways she's treated differently.
There's There's a specific mention of a 2 crore rupee bribe having been paid for allowing this special treatment for Shashikala. Can you tell us a little bit more about whatever you found on that front, about the payment?
Well, in my report, I have mentioned that there is a special treatment, that is a fact. That is what I have mentioned. Secondly, I have mentioned this is the report which I gave to my boss, DG, the head of the prisons. It was not against him, sent to government or anything, it is addressed to him. And in that I say this special treatment given to Shashikala is a fact, and I am told that you are in the know of it, because the reason for me stating that was when I asked the prison officials why she is meeting them here or why she is doing this and that, the reasons they gave is security reasons, which is not really viable. And also when I ask when I ask them does DG know this, they say yes, he knows it. Hence I have written this, I am told is in your knowledge. And I also wrote another sentence which I say is, I said for this special treatment I am told money has exchanged to tune of 2 crores. Now I have not accused him directly that you have taken. I have said for this differential treatment which exists as a fact, I am told the rumor is that money has exchanged to the tune of 2 crores, and therefore kindly look into this and stop this and take strictest action against the lower officials, against the jail authorities. That is what I have mentioned. Now for me saying that about 2 crores, I had an information because I was posted to this place in January and I had not joined. I was on leave. I was hearing a lot of things, and from my sources in Delhi police, I had also heard that that there is one person by name Prakash who was interrogated by Delhi police regarding Dinakaran case, regarding election commission symbol bribing case.
Yes.
And in that case I was also told that I had heard that there is a confessional statement he has given mentioning something about jail. Now this report mine was internal, I couldn't have put all this in writing because these what statement he has given to Delhi police is not in my knowledge, and I am not, my terms of reference are different, my context, the context in which I gave the report was different. I had given a fact finding report to my own boss. It is not that government had ordered me to inquire into things, or it is not that my senior had ordered me to refer into things and report. It is my own report to the boss, and therefore I said this rumor is there that money has exchanged to tune of 2 crores, and now I think this confessional statement is also out. It was sent to me by one of the media persons only, and in that this Mr. Prakash, whom I've been speaking of, he has said that he has arranged the meeting of one Mr. Mallikarjun with Shashikala. That is in his first paragraph of that statement.
Right. I have a copy
saying
of
that
it.
he has arranged meeting of
I
this
have a copy of it,
Mallikarjun
Roopa.
with
Can I tell you?
Shashikala because he knew jail officials. Because he knew jail officials.
Can I just come in at this point, Roopa? Roopa, I just want to come in at this point, the specific angle regarding the paper which you are talking about. It's in my hand right now. We have accessed it today. It is in the public domain, therefore, that Shashikala's nephew TTP Dinakaran has been facing a bribery charge in the election symbol case. And when the RTI response revealed that Shashikala had flouted the rules regarding the number of visitors allowed in prison, her tainted nephew was found to be one of the most frequent visitors. Now, Roopa, in your initial report, you had specifically, and this is exactly what you're talking about right now, you had mentioned an amount as high as 2 crore rupees, which you said was paid allegedly, you had heard, at the behest of Shashikala to get the special facilities in prison. Now, I have got the corroborating piece of paper. It is in my hand. You may be interested in knowing about it. What we have accessed is that testimony of one VC Prakash. And he has claimed that he was asked by Dinakaran's aide, Mallikarjun, to arrange for a transfer of a cash amount of 2 crore rupees from Chennai to Delhi on the 14th of April. Do you think, Roopa, that the 2 crore rupees that you mentioned in your first report is the same 2 crore that this VC Prakash is talking about.
No, from what I went through the statement, it appears that that 2 crores is to another case regarding, I think, Election Commission symbol, that bribery case. But in the first paragraph, there is a mention that where VC Prakash says that he took Mallikarjun to meet Shashikala. He arranged the meeting because he knew jail officials. Now, this kind of behavior shows that he is acting as an agent. Now, what is the need to act as an agent? And he says that he knows jail officials. Now, that being the case, this has to be probed further, because for Delhi police the terms of reference was different. They were inquiring into the case, investigating only into the bribery case concerning the symbol, election symbol. But what happened in jail was not their terms of reference. There is a huge possibility that they would not have inquired into it. But this is a small hint that he acted as an agent, he knew jail officials. So, this has to be taken further to get to the depth of how much bribe has exchanged hands.
You're perfectly correct. Now, Roopa, on the 20th of July, TTV Dinakaran came out and rejected that any special treatment was given to his aunt Shashikala in Karnataka prison, and he said, and I'm quoting him, "We have not even met the DGP." He said, "We have not even met the DGP." However, in this testimony which I have with me, this same VC Prakash is claiming to have facilitated meetings, as you have said, as an agent, between Shashikala and Dinakaran and his aide Mallikarjun. Do you think, Roopa, that this document from the records of the Delhi police only adds credence and corroboration to your report? Because if you look at this document, it falls in line with exactly what you are saying in your report.
Yes, it falls in line with what I have said, and therefore it has to be taken further, because what the Delhi police has investigated is a different matter, only about the symbol. So, they have not investigated what has happened with regard to prison, how much bribe was paid, if at all was paid, and such things. Therefore, there has to be a separate probe for this, and only then one can get to the root of the issue.
Yeah, that's interesting. Roopa, your report has created ripples across the entire country. Now, when you put out a report like this, when I saw your report and I got it translated in English for the first time, I said, wow, this is really an internal expose. This is what you call like an investigative journalist would have gone into the prison and tried to find out everything that was going on. I mean, if he would have sent Prema Sridevi, she would have come out with as exhaustive a report as the one that you brought out. But you were also taking in a lot of individuals with powerful connections. Tell me about Telgi. Telgi is a person who we had exposed as journalists almost 10 years back. He is the kingpin of one of the greatest scams in this country, the Telgi scam. He was also getting special facilities. Can you tell us about what he was getting in prison?
It's all there now in the public domain. I think this is like dragging too long, this interview. But to put it in brief, yes, he was also getting, he was getting, till what I saw, he was getting a differential treatment in the sense that he gets attenders. Of course, getting attenders, he had appealed, he had applied to the court saying that he needs attenders because he sits on wheelchair, he can't manage his affairs. But that was long ago. Now he is able to walk perfectly, and that is what I have seen even on CCTV. Many times from my office, next to my chamber is a CCTV room from where I have seen that he is perfectly able to walk, but he has some 2-3 attenders at a time, and the court order does not specify how many attenders has to be given, but however there are 3 minimum attenders at a time, and these attenders are under trial prisoners. Now, what I had mentioned to the jail authorities was, you can't mix up an under trial prisoner with a convict. That is against the rule and guidelines, and therefore you have to, if he needs attendance, you give somebody from the convicts who are going to who are willing to help him, and also put this in writing to the court, bring it to the notice of the court, honorable court, that he is able to walk, he is no more on wheelchair, and therefore this will be withdrawn. inform this to the court and withdraw. This is what I had instructed, but that was not followed.
At what level do you think there is, connections and networks used to make something like this happen? Like when people like Shashikala and Telgi get this kind of treatment, obviously this is with the connivance of the highest of authorities. This cannot be, one individual involved or just one or two. Obviously the whole system is involved, Roopa.
That's for everybody to see. What is there for me to comment on that? I mean,
did you try to bring it up? Besides the DG, did you have a one-to-one conversation? Did you speak to the DG about it? Did you confront any of these people?
Well, in the initial days, I had tried to broach this topic, and his usual reaction was, this happens and this is a very wretched system. And he also said the jail officials are also very wretched and they are really hardcore, and he was probably trying to say that we too are police officers, and that was a prison department where all other officers were prison officers. And then I thought that this was going nowhere, putting it orally, and hence I thought I'll put it in writing, and I gave it in writing to him.
Did he or anyone else suggest that there were others involved also outside the police system who were aware of this?
No, I'm not aware. I'm not aware, and it has only to be, it is to be probed, if at all. I can't say.
What did you feel about your transfer?
Government has transferred, I have followed orders, I have obeyed it, I gave charge immediately and joined the new post.
I know that I've been hearing your interviews and you've been very, very, if I may say so,
what do I comment?
Politically correct about being transferred to the Traffic and Road Safety Department. But there are some inmates in the Parapana Agrahara Central Prison who have been protesting in your favor. At some level, obviously it's a punishment transfer. That's how the whole country is seeing it.
Well, there is no post as punishment, there is no posting as punishment posting. Every post is equal, and yeah, the so-called punishment postings also one can work and show. Yes.
Superintendent Anita Rai, who had taken over from the former Superintendent Krishna Kumar, was transferred after you named her in your report and called her out for not producing CCTV footage of the prison. Do you think merely transferring is a sufficient response?
Well, I cannot comment on anything. Government is supreme and government knows everything. They have taken action. So, what can I comment as a government servant?
I understand your limitations
I
completely. I will not.
And no.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
No. There's one small thing to it. When I visited, also, the prisoners had come to air their grievance to me. And the same prisoners who aired grievances and exposed certain irregularities happening there, who were more vocal, were transported to other prisons, Mysore, Belgaum and Ballari, and there also I was not kept in loop, because I was given the task of supervising this central prison along with one other woman prison in Tumkur. Now, somebody is transported, and that too 32 in huge numbers in the night, that too. So, the urgency of it or whatever the need for it, I was never informed, though I tried contacting Chief Superintendent and Superintendent what was the issue, and so I was not informed about this.
You're saying that,
and I think
prisoners,
I think NHRC,
the prisoners who question this VVIP racism and this VVIP treatment being given to some people like Shashikala, those who raised their voice were immediately moved out from this prison and sent elsewhere.
It was not about just that. They brought out many irregularities that were happening. like in parole and physical abuse, the verbal abuse, the corruption and corruption that is involved while giving parole. All these things were mentioned by them, and they sat down. Some 800, 900 prisoners sat down, and 8 to 900 prisoners sat down, and I listened to them, and anything could have happened to me at that time, because when I went, they are, of course, everybody scared me that just don't venture individually, singly and all that. But then I didn't feel the need to be scared, because I was right and I was listening to the grievance, and I knew that grievances are there of the prisoners and they need to be addressed. And I went there, some 800-900 together sat down, and they were airing their grievance to me in a very peaceful manner. And later, the chief superintendent came and disrupted it, and then I said, this can't happen in this manner. Only when there is peace and everybody settles down, I'll come and listen to your grievance. So those who were more vocal while airing those grievances, those were the ones who were transported. And the problem is, I was not kept informed as a senior officer. I was not kept in the loop. I also came to know only through the media.
Yeah. A lot of people watching, over the last 1 week our coverage, and they've been admiring the fact that you have this never say die attitude, that you've been really at it. You've not backed off. You must have come under considerable pressure. You didn't back off.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, no, the support is welcome, because you truly deserve the support. But can you tell us at a personal level how it has been for you? Being at the center of attention, politicians rejecting it, getting transferred, being put with people. I mean, in this case, both the guilty and the exposed are put together. Are you used to it? Are you used to it? Because if I look at your track record, whether it is that of arresting Uma Bharti in 2004 or taking on an MLA in the Gadag district in 2007, I think you also withdrew additional escort vehicles from Yediyurappa's cavalcade. And in this case, Yediyurappa was one of the people who has been supporting you. Your attitude has been consistent. You've been quite a fighter if I look at the last 15 years of your career.
Yes, these 10 days were a bit stressful, but internally I'm not so stressed, because I have nothing to hide in this. I have no aches to grind. I have no self-interest. There is nothing against me now or in the past for which I have to be scared. I am right in my place, and yes, I am a bit vocal, and when something I notice, I either tell people on their face or I put it in writing like this, and that is how I am. And so,
how many times have you been transferred in your career? People would like to know.
I have done all the non-executive postings available for the rank of SP and DIG, and also I have been posted only in North Karnataka, not in South Bangalore or places like Bangalore where things are known or made known, etc. And I've been transferred about 26 times already.
In how many years?
In my 17 years of. In some years it has been more than three times. This is my 17th year, so in last 16 years it's been about 26 times.
Are you saying that roughly every 7 to 8 months you get transferred on an average?
Yeah, my only longest duration was in Yadgiri. That was the newest district, and it had a lot of challenges. And I stayed there on for 3 years because there were no takers, and even when I wanted to come out after 3 years also, there were no takers and they were not transferring me. So that situation also has been there.
It must take a toll on you personally. I mean, because to get transferred 26 times in 17 years must take a toll. I mean, obviously it must be difficult, very, very difficult.
Now the average tenure for any police officer has come down. It's about, let's say, maybe 1 year or a little more than 1 year, and mine has been a bit more than that.
Right. For all the people out there watching, and while we were covering your, this whole episode, Roopa, over the last 10 days or so, one question has come to everybody's mind. There are several different cases picked up of upright, straightforward, direct and aggressive police officers. The case of DIG Roopa came up. The case of DSP Shrestha Thakur came up in UP. She spoke back to some people and she was transferred. Then there was a case of a superintendent of police in Haryana, where she spoke back to a minister and she was transferred. And one question which everyone asked is that will, young men and women want to join the police or want to join government service? If they are not pliant, they are transferred, they are pushed and they are punished. The nation wants you awarded, but you're not being awarded right now, you're being punished. What would you say to teenagers, young people, aspirants for police who are watching what you've gone through? How should they look upon your example and take it upon themselves?
Yes, seeing these incidents, some people also message me saying that I will never want my daughter or a son or my son to join civil service because there's so much pressure, so many things happen which is quite stressful and so on, harassment, etc. They have messaged me, but my message is still clear to them. These are occupational hazards. Now, it is understood. Transfer is an occupational. Transfer is first of all not a punishment. And when you speak out, yes, there will be stress. There will be a lot of people who will try to repress you, suppress you. They might float a lot of theories against you just to corner you. But I think you should not get bogged down by it, because ultimately there is no truth. If there is no truth to those theories, I don't think there's any need to get scared. And be clear. And there's one thing I've noticed among bureaucrats. Many bureaucrats are honest, but generally they don't speak out. And I feel when something wrong is there, one should speak out, because that is like, if you don't speak out, it is being accomplice to it as a silent spectator. So one should speak out, and ultimately truth prevails and nothing happens. Because even in this, I have not violated conduct rules, because finally conduct rule says one should not speak against government policies, programs, etc. And I have never done it. I have only exposed maladministration, and there is a Supreme Court ruling in 2014 which says exposing maladministration or speaking about it to the media or anywhere is also not amounting to misconduct. It is just maladministration. It doesn't amount to speaking against the government. So even in this, I have never spoken against the government or violated conduct rules, and I have never done it. So and I'm right in my
one last question, and I assure you this is the last question. One law minister, I think of Karnataka, went on to say those who cross the line will face the consequences. I saw that as some kind of a threat. I want first your reaction to that.
Oh, I am hearing this from you because last few days I have really not been keeping track of news because there are so many things written, and I am also busy in so many things. It's kept me busy, so I've really had no time to see it and watch it on TV or newspaper. You're telling me, and I'm getting to know this. Well, I think those can be ignored, those statements.
Certainly they can be ignored. Well, Roopa, I must say this, that it's been a pleasure talking to you. You're upright, you're straightforward, you're aware of exactly what your rights are as a police officer.
Thank you.
And I would say this, that I think a lot of people listening to you today will feel very, very inspired, you know, to join the police. And I'm really happy that you chose to speak out today. From all of us here at Republic, I thank you very much, Roopa, and all the best in your fight. All the best.
Thanks.